Well, I interviewed, and the interview's actually running right now with James Slim Bowler. He was Michael Jordan's golf betting partner.
Oh.
You know about this story?
No.
Okay, so this guy was basically a golf hustler in North Carolina, in Charlotte. And he would basically make his money betting dudes on the golf course. And, with that, he had his own shop and everything else like that.
So Mike had to pay him like $50,000?
Well, okay, I'll get to the story. So at one point, Mike was in the area, basically betting on golf games. So he went out there and started betting with Mike and started winning. So Mike started to like him. And he was basically part of this group of guys. They would get together. Mike had like an island, right. This little like weekend island spot that he would go and they would all gamble and they would have private chefs and everything else like that. And, these days not going to the White House, as an athlete is not that uncommon. But back then, after he won the NBA championship, he said he couldn't go to the White House because he had family obligations and everything else like that. Well, in fact, he went gambling with this group of guys that week.
Once Michael did not go to the White House, and Jesse Helms was in the Senate, was a senator at that particular time from Monroe and Wingate, that is a political slap in the face. If you look at the simple things, when you look at the Last Dance in the movie, episode 6, where they portrayed me and Jesse Helms. Jesse Helms said, quote, that when he beat Harvey Gantt for the election for the Senate, they won't have no party in the hood tonight.
He didn't lie. That's his extended family.
Right. So Michael Jordan ended up losing a bunch of money that weekend to Slim, and he wrote him a $57,000 check for his losses. Unbeknownst to Michael, Slim was being investigated for drug dealing and all this other type of stuff. So his phones were tapped and everything else like that. So, and I guess he tried to cash the check without paying taxes on it while his phones were tapped. So before he got a chance to cash the check, the Fed swooped in, arrested him, seized the check, and then now he has to go to court, and Michael Jordan now has to take the stand and now has to admit that he was gambling and what the check was for. And now the NBA is starting to investigate him. And, one of the guys in the group ends up dead with like $100,000 check from Michael, in his bag. And it's just basically Michael Jordan said this was the worst decision of his life.
Yeah.
And this was before you joined the Bulls. This was
before.
This was like 91. I think.
This is when, it was, remember after 93, he took time off.
Exactly. It was right around that time when there was a whole investigation. He basically was like, okay, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, I'm going
to
stop.
The NBA. And then they dropped the investigation. Right.
And
then his dad got killed. And, it was all around that same time.
It's a trip, man. I told somebody, I like having small victories.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time I've had some top of the level, the next day or something that would just bring you down to the ground. It would just flatten you. And I tell you, MJ was going through so much then. Right after that, Space Jam came out. He had 6 different commercials on television, 4 different companies. The face of the NBA, 3-time, 3-peat champion. When did he get divorced? He was going through it. Life. I'm telling you, man, it's you try to live life and have your career at the same time. It's amazing on how things seem like they don't miss. They don't miss you when you're on top of everything. I don't know anybody that has been at the top that haven't had some crazy life situations follow. It's like the same thing, the good and the bad.